Good morning, students. So today we would like to discuss about the rotational partition function or partition function for rotation. We know that from quantum mechanical discussion, the rotational energy expression for a rigid diatomic molecules, which is basically ER equal to J into J plus 1 H square by 8 pi square Y, where J is the rotational quantum number and I is the moment of inertia, which is basically reduced mass multiplied by the internuclear distance square. Okay, so from quantum mechanical viewpoint, the rotational energy for a diatomic molecule considered as a rigid rotor at the jth quantum level is given by, which I just tell, ER equal to J into J plus 1 H square by 8 pi square I in arcs or in joule unit, means energy unit. Okay, where the rotational quantum numbers J has the value as usual 0, 1, 2, 3. So and I is the moment of inertia of the molecule about an axis perpendicular to the internuclear axis. To clarify these things, I can give you a clear picture of this. Suppose this is a molecule, this is atom A, this is atom B, and this is the internuclear axis. Okay, and you can assume two more axes which are just perpendicular. If this axis is along x-axis, this is along y, and this is along z-axis. So if x-axis means if the molecule is lie along the x-axis, then along this axis I equal to 0, because there is basically no change of the position of any of the atoms. So I becomes I along x-axis Ix equal to 0, but Iy and Iz is non-zero. So we have to consider these two axes. Okay. Uh, that is that is indicated here. So if I is the moment of inertia of the molecule about an axis perpendicular to the internuclear axis, that means these two axes, and the degeneracy Gj of the rotational energy level is equal to 2j plus 1. It is already discussed in the quantum mechanical class, that means in the last semester or in the second year probably. Okay, thus the rotational partition function of a rigid diatomic molecule is given by, I have to do the calculation for that. So if rotational, I can arrange little bit, just a minute. Just a minute. Yeah, if rotational equal to summation j equal to 0 to infinite all possible values gj, because here in the previous class we have discussed about the translation partition function, and where we have not mentioned any gj, means the degeneracy of the level. That means in the translation energy level there is no degeneracy, all energies are equal, all energies are singly degenerate. Okay, but here the rotational energy levels we find degeneracy, and we have to include this in our calculation. So 2j plus 1 exponential minus ej means j into j plus 1 into h square by 8 pi square I divided by kt. So we have to include also these things. Okay, now I can do one thing, j equal to 0 to infinite 2j plus 1 exponential minus j into j plus 1 into c. So c into c. C means I have taken a quantity where I have chosen c equal to h square by 8 pi square I into k into t. I have taken all these terms as c. Now the question is, when kt means thermal energy, if when kt is very greater than h square by 8 pi square I. Okay, if kt in this expression is very greater than h square by 8 pi square I, then what happened? The spacing between the neighboring rotational level is much larger than that between the translation energy levels. What is kt? Kt is the thermal energy level, means the difference between the two successive thermal energy levels. So that is kt. If kt is very higher in comparison to h square by 8 pi square I, that means the spacing between the neighboring rotational level is much larger than that between the translation energy levels. How can you say that? Because you can compare here. If kt is very higher, then the spacing between the two successive rotational energy levels becomes much larger, because kt is appear in this expression in the denominator. So if kt is higher, then the overall term becomes smaller. Okay. Still it is found that for we have discussed about this expression. So f rotational equal to finally comes equal to j equal to 0 to 2j plus 1 e to the power minus j into j plus 1 into c, and where we have assumed that c equal to h square by 8 pi square I kt. And I have just discussed about that if kt means the thermal energy is very higher in comparison to the h square by 8 pi square I term, then what happen, as kt appear in the denominator, then the overall term becomes smaller. And we know that it is the e to the power minus x type term. That means if a value of the x decreases, then the overall terms becomes increases, because it is e to the power minus x. Okay. So the spacing between the neighboring rotational energy level becomes larger than that between the translation energy level. But still it is found that practically for all the atomics, this h square by uh, 8 pi square I into kt is small, means small enough, so that the successive rotational energy levels are closer to one another. That means the overall terms, it is experimentally found that the overall terms means h square by 8 pi square I kt is so small, means is sufficiently small, so that the successive energy levels of the rotational level are much closer to one another. Okay. So it is thus possible to replace the summation sign by the integration sign, because we know that when we have to do summation and the successive energy levels of the successive values are very close to one another, then that means there is any type of continuity between these two between these functions, then we can replace the function of summation by the integration. That means f rotational, I can say right now 0 to infinite uh, 2j plus 1 into exponential minus j into j plus 1 into c into dj. Dj is the integration constant, I can say. Okay. So to make it simplified, I guess one term j into j plus 1, I assume it's as x, and j square plus j if I multiply these things. Okay. Then dx, conversely dx equal to dj becomes 2j, and j becomes 1 into dj. If I differentiate this expression, this will come. So I have got a new term 2j plus 1 into dj. That means we have these terms in this expression, so I can modify this expression in this way, just like f rotational means rotational degree of freedom equal to 0 to infinite e to the power minus c into x, and in place of 2j plus 1 dj I can place dx. Okay. But somebody can question me that why said the integration limit has not changed, because we know that we have assumed these terms. If j equal to 0, then x equal to 0. If j tends to infinite, then also extends to infinite. That means the integration limit has not changed. That's why I have not changed this integration limit. And we know that this is a e to the power minus mx dx type formula, and after integration what I have got, minus m into e to the power minus mx, this type of formula. So I just use this formula. So minus 1 upon c is coming from this after integration, and e to the power minus c into x 0 to infinite, so minus 1 upon c e to the power minus infinite. If I multiplied minus infinite with any quantity, it becomes minus infinite, so c into infinite is infinite. And in place of x, if I put 0, so it becomes e to the power 0. That means minus 1 upon c, and e to the power minus infinite, we know that it's a value of 1. Okay, sorry, e to the minus infinite is 0, sorry, and e to the power 0, we know that it's a 1. So this one and this this minus is multiplied, it becomes 1 upon c. So substituting the value of c, what I have got, a rotational equal to, so what I have taken c as c equal to h square by 8 pi square I into k into t. So 1 upon c means 8 pi square I k into t by h square. Okay. So this is the final form of, you can say, of the rotational partition function. Okay, now the quantity, we have got one quantity, that is now the quantity h square by 8 pi square I into k has the dimension of temperature. How is this possible? I can clarify your concept by taking a simple example. So h square by 8 pi square I into k. So what is the dimension of h? H is the Planck constant. We know that the value of the Planck constant is joule second. So I can use this in this way. And 8 pi square is a number. 8 is number, pure number. Pi is the 3.14. So I can discard these things. So only I can use the value of I means mu into r square. Mu is basically the dimension of weight means I can use in the SI unit kg, and r square is meter square in SI units. I can use this I, and the dimension of k is the Boltzmann constant. It is basically joule per Kelvin. So I can use this in this way. So 1 joule is replaced by this joule, so 1 joule is remaining. So kilogram meter square, so joule is in Kelvin inverse. So in the next step I can just put this Kelvin inverse to here, and joule is still remaining, and I can use joule in this way, kilogram meter square, and this second square if I put here, it becomes second to the power minus 2. Okay, so in this way it becomes Kelvin into joule divided by joule, because we know that joule is the unit of work or energy, and it becomes in this way I can is it's the unit of force means mass into displacement, mass into displacement. So force is the mass into acceleration and multiplied by displacement, so it becomes kilogram meter square second to the minus 2. So in place of this quantity I can put joule, so joule cancel, only the Kelvin remaining. That means the h square by 8 pi square I into k has the dimension of temperature. Okay, now this quantity has the dimension of temperature and is called the characteristic rotational temperature. That means h square by 8 pi square I into k is called characteristic rotational temperature. Characteristics rotational temperature, because this quantity has the dimension of temperature. Okay, that means so finally F rotational becomes it becomes, so if I just remind these terms, what was the terms is h square by 8 pi square kt divided by it will be what was the term exactly? If you remind it correctly, I can say 8 pi square IKT by h square. So F rotational equal to 8 pi square I kt by h square. It was the term of the rotational partition function. So we know that h square by 8 pi square I into k is the dimension of temperature. So and it is known as rotational characteristic rotational temperature and denoted by theta c. So this becomes, so F rotational becomes T by theta c. Okay, that means characteristic rotational temperature equal to I can say T by F rotational. Okay, so from the equation of the energy expression of the rigid energy expression of the rigid diatomic rotor, it was in this way, j into j plus 1 into h square by 8 pi square I. Okay, so we see that the value of the theta rotational by t, gives an idea to show how close the energy levels are to kt. Look, theta rotational by t, or 1 upon means I can say that I can say in this way that the value of theta rotational by t, okay, gives an idea to how close the energy levels up to kT, means it's gives an idea of how the rotational how close means how close the energy levels are to kT. If this is very higher, then the energy levels are not very close to kT. If these are comparable, this value means theta rotational by t, then energy levels mean rotational energy levels are very much comparable to the translation energy levels kT. Okay, the assumption to the replacement of the summation by integration that we have already performed in the rotational energy levels, we just replace the summation sign by integration sign. So if the assumption of the means the assumption of the replacement of the summation by integration used in evaluating the rotational partition function is valid when theta rotational is far less than t, means when theta rotational is very less than t. In this condition we can replace the summation sign by integration signs. Okay, so equation that is f rotational, it becomes 8 pi square I k t by h square, okay, can be applied to the rotational degree of freedom in which the identical configuration occurs only after rotation of 2 pi. Just for take an example of a very unsymmetrical molecules, rigid diatomic unsymmetrical molecules. Just take the example of CO. So CO molecules, this is CO. Take this is the simple form, not double triple bonds. So just forget about this double triple bond concept right now. So if I do plus 90-degree rotation along this counterclockwise, means in this way, then what happens? CO. Then again plus 90-degree counterclockwise, then what happened? It becomes OC. Then again plus 90-degree counterclockwise, then becomes OC. And finally counterclockwise if we do again, then it becomes CO. That means 90 90 90 90 490, that means total 2 pi. So after a complete rotation of twice pi, it appears in the same configuration, CO to CO. So this type of molecules, okay, so if the molecule has an element of symmetry such that identical configuration occurs after a rotation of 2i pi by sigma, where sigma you can say is the symmetry number, So for this type of molecules, what is the symmetry number? This molecule symmetry number is 1, because only identical configuration appears after a complete rotation of 2 pi or 360 degree. That means 2 pi by 2 pi equal to 1. So that's why symmetry number is 1 for this molecule. So where sigma I have already discussed that it's a symmetry number. Then the rotational partition function is given by, then we have to modify the rotational partition function f rotational equal to 8 pi square I k t by h square, and again we have to add sigma, because sigma is very much related to the rigid diatomic molecules, so the rigid diatomic molecules symmetry number. So you have to include this, and in the theta rotational terms it becomes t by sigma into theta rotational, okay, or rotational. So now for homonuclear diatomic molecules like H2, N2, O2, etc., we know that every after 180-degree rotation, a identical structure will appear in their rotational motions. So we can say for this type of molecules, the symmetry number is equal to 2. Okay, and for heteronuclear diatomic molecules like CO, NO, HCl or HCN, etc., this type of molecules only identical structure will appear after rotation of 360 degree. That means for this type of molecules sigma equal to 1. Okay, so we have to always keep in mind the rotational the symmetry number in their in the homonuclear and in case of both heteronuclear case. So finally f rotational equal to k 8 pi square, the first I write the whole things, 8 pi square I k t by sigma into h square. So I can arrange a little bit this thing. So take kt here and sigma and then h square by 8 pi square I. Then kt by sigma h square by 8 pi square I multiplied c here, divide c here and multiplied c here. So h square by 8 pi square I c, that means I can arrange little bit more here. So sigma then h by sorry here kt by sigma into h by 8 pi square I c, 1h here and the c, that means kt by sigma b h c, where b we know that b is the rotational constant whose value is h by 8 pi square I into c. So to get the value of b, I have arranged this type of these terms, and the value of b is already discussed in the quantum mechanical class and in the spectroscopy class. Okay, so you can clarify from this also. And for now I would like to find the rotational energy of a diatomic molecules in terms of partition function, because we have no right now the partition function, so we can easily find the energy. So we know that the energy means the rotational energy equal to summation I, the individual molecular energy, multiplied by Ni, and if we put the value of Ni from the definition of the Maxwell-Boltzmann, so this is the EI e to the power minus EI by KT, where EI means the rotational energy. Okay, so first we know that by definition F equal to summation e to the power EI by KT. Okay, so if I do one thing, so if I differentiate this f with respect to t, what will appear? So df by dt equal to becomes this is the e to the summation sign is outside, so e to the power minus ei by kt gives you e to the minus ei by kt, and you have to differentiate also these terms minus ei by kt, so minus ei by kt gives you minus ei, and 1 upon kt, if you differentiate this thing, is gives you minus 1 upon k t square, because this is the successive derivative, so you have to derive it stepwise. So minus minus becomes plus, so ei by kt I can ei by kt square within summation sign e to the power minus ei by kt. So these terms because 1 upon kt square is a constant, so it can comes out from this summation sign, so remaining terms is ei e to the power minus ei by kt. Okay, so just a minute, I have to just arrange these things. So till now we have found that then I can do one things, summation ei e to the power minus ei by kt equal to kt square into the kt square that is here, I just replace it in this side of this equation, so kt square df by dt. So I got the value of summation ei e to the minus ei by kt equal to kt square by ei by, and the energy that we just found equal to summation I n by f epsilon I e to the power minus ei by kt. So n by f is a constant number, so it can comes out easily from this summation sign. So ei e to the power minus ei by kt should be remaining terms, and we just find the value of this thing. So just putting the value of this thing equal to kt square df by dt. So finally we got n k t square by f df by dt. If you little bit critical, if you little bit critically observe this quantity df by f, I can write this in this way. It is d of ln f. Df by f I can write in this way. Okay, so d ln f by dt. So this is the expression, energy expression that we are going to use, or for average energy of molecules. This is the required expression for this type of rotational partition function. Now we will come to the point. For this is the for particular means one molecules containing n number of atoms. Okay, but for 1 moles, okay, for 1 moles we can write this expression E rotational, then small n is replaced by the Avogadro's number. So n k t square d ln f by dt. Okay, now n k t square d dt, whatever we got in this expression right now, ln for rotational, we can use right now rotational partition function. So 8 pi square I k t by sigma h square. Okay, so n k t square. Okay, so you can arrange this thing in this way. Why n k t square is d ln k? So I can simplify this thing in this way. Just split this thing, this term, which are which are temperature dependent and which are temperature independent. Just separate this thing. So d dt, and I can write ln 8 pi square I k by sigma h square in one side plus ln t in other side. This is simply x into y. I just split this ln x plus ln y in this way, equal to n k t square. And we know that this quantity doesn't contain any terms that is dependent on temperature, so this quantity will give you 0. So I have not seen here, so only d dt of ln t, and we know n k t square, and ln t is differentiate, gives you 1 upon t, so 1 t is cancelled from the square, so it gives you nk into t. So this is the rotational energy of a diatomic molecules in terms of your partition function. Okay, so in this way I can say that the rotational partition function is given in this format, and in this way you can easily split this thing and finally get this thing.